All right, here we go. Week starting the 16th of June to the 20th of June. It's way too warm in here for that, so we're just going to take that off. All right, what do we have? We took 3 trades, 1 break even, 2 win. Pretty good, pretty good. Let's jump into it. Monday. All right, so Monday, worst day of the week, normally always. But I've been catching a lot lately, in all fairness. So what we seen happen here is we saw a push up, market open. There was multiple SMTs here. I didn't mark them all out, but there was just a ton of them on the way up. They kept just getting ran through over and over again. We had this SMT, we had this inverse to go up. To be honest, if you want the best clue or the best trade of the day, if we go from here to there, we pushed up like 100 points here from market open. We've had an SMT with inverse to go higher against these SMTs up here. You know, that's longs like any day for me. So to be honest, taking something here and then just covering that would be the best thing. That trade there, that's the most optimal trade. So I'm going to be talking about the ones I took, and I'm also going to talk about all the most optimal ones. I also didn't trade that much this week. Like, I literally only traded for them 3 days. So yeah, I was doing a lot of business stuff, as you could call it. So here we pushed up, we had the optimal entry. I was like, right, okay, so far it's just longs to me. We're just going right through SMTs, you know, we're respecting bullish. Why would you even think about shorting? You know what I mean? So we came down here. See, I entered this with micros Monday, micro Monday, you could call it that. But this was an SM. This took this low on MNQ, but on NQ, it didn't. So I don't know. It's a weird one for me. I was trading it on MNQ on TradeOvate, and it was an SMT. So if I actually was trading on NQ and this wasn't an SMT, I actually wouldn't have took this. But because it was an SMT and MNQ, this candle here pushed up really strong, nice and bullish, created my version of an order block. I'm going to do a video on that just to show you sort of the way it works for me, because it's a bit different than the usual. When you hear order block, you're probably thinking of something different than this. So it's just the way I do it. It's the way I was taught to do it by my mentor. So yeah, so after we got the close, I just boom, market entered, covered the low of the manipulation, and then I targeted just. I was originally looking. There was maybe something up to the left I was originally looking at, but when we came up to here, see the way we're dancing around. I just got out there. I was like, you know what, 35 points, that's loads on a Monday for me. I'm going to take that and go. So that is literally how Monday went for me. Nice, clean, couldn't complain. If we go to Tuesday was actually really nice. Bit annoying because I was on calls. I had to do some calls for business, so I did not get to take it because just the way time zones are, that's when the calls were booked, so I had no real other choice. But look at this. This was like probably the easiest. Yeah, no, the easiest. Yeah, this is the easiest day of the week, I'd say, for my setup. So look at this. We calm down. All right. We turtle soup and create an SMT here. Turtle soup SMT. I'm going to do a video on this too. I've decided I'm going to do all, because I'm talking about all these different things that are going on, and a lot of people may not know what they are. So I'm going to actually do like a little series going over all these things, so it makes a lot more sense. But turtle soup SMT, this is like banging. Love to see this. This is great. So that's our manipulation. Okay, double manip. We came up, reacted off of this SIBI, so wouldn't be entering longs here, although that is a lovely entry. You know, if this closed here and then it pulled back there into this, that is a beautiful entry. It's so nice. But because this didn't close, For me, I wouldn't take it. After this closed, now we're good. We'll have this little one here, but is what it is. This retest is just perfect. This is what you want to see. You've got Turtle Soup SMT. You've got the inverse. You've got the retest, the BISC. It's just perfection. Like, you aim for this high, 38 points. You just cover the BISC, to be honest. I give it a wee bit of extra room, but as soon as you get in and this candle pushes up, you can just cover that low right there, and you're good to go. But even if you're covering the candle, it's still 1 to 2, and then I normally just cover something like that. It really shouldn't come back down here. Like, it just really shouldn't after that push. So yeah, Tuesday was a lovely day, but like I said, I did not trade it, so a little bit sad there. But it is what it is. There's tons of good days to trade. But this week has been a good point to even show that you actually don't need to trade every day to do, to have decent numbers. What I did this week, like 2.6%. Like, that's a good week. You know what I mean? 2.6% is a solid week, and that's only in 2 trades, and mostly in the Friday one, to be honest. But yeah, so hopefully I do not run out of battery, but we will see. So Wednesday, basically the same idea again as Tuesday, although it wasn't Turtle Soup, although it probably wasn't the 5 minute. So 5 minute soup, most likely. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ooh, maybe it wasn't actually. Depends what's the times. 30, 2, 5. No, it wouldn't have been actually. But look, it's liquidity sweep anyway. We'll have this Sibi gets inversed here, so it's liquidity sweep. We have an SMT as well. To be honest, if you got balls, see if you got balls. See this? See after this closes here. Give you a little bit of sauce right now. See that? See after that closes, and then this wick retests this order block, and then we start moving up. See if you just clicked on entry there. Covered that low. Aim for that high. That's a banger. That is a banger. Risky, but a banger. All right. Ideally, we want to enter after this. Okay, so this is the inverse. You can enter here or whatever. For me, a little bit early, so I didn't even trade today. But I'm just showing you what I probably would have done. All right, so come over here. Broke this high, came back down into here. So I put don't get caught here. All right, just gonna give a little bit of sauce. This is easy for a lot of people who trade ICT to get like tripped up on. We inverse this, okay? We do close below. We inverse this. Don't just start looking for shorts, okay? Don't, because yeah, look, it looks like it maybe is starting to sell off, but think about the bigger picture. All right, we've had our manipulation down here at 9:30 open. Okay, we've had liquidity sweep, and we've got a big ass SMT as well. We've also came up like 100 points. Yeah, 100 on the dot. We've came up 100 points. All right, and you're just gonna try and reverse the entire thing. A little bit dodgy. Okay, so don't get caught out by this. Wait for a bit more. Okay, wait for like a rebalance here, and then maybe it's starting to. But look at this. Look, you save yourself. Look, imagine you saw this inverse. You're like, wow, that's great, and you just clicked on entry there. Boom, just instantly stopped within like seconds. So if you wait like 1 extra minute right here, you'd see that this actually gets inversed again, just confirming that we do want to just go higher. Then you click on your buy entry. Target 50 points. That's as my rules. Cover this low, and yeah, you're literally good to go. That's it. That's what you wanna pick there. Just think about the overall direction. Like, where are we actually looking to go here? Okay. So yeah, a little tip. Sometimes I have to remind myself too. These things happen. You're in there, you're watching the 1 minute, and things move fast, and you're trying to click on entries and all. So, I know what happens. This day is a wee bit. I shouldn't have really traded this, to be honest. I didn't realize it was buying all day until it was too late. So that's completely on me, but I didn't lose anyway. So had our manipulation down here, big SMT, we came up, we inverse this, and I'm immediately just like, okay, same thing as Tuesday, same thing as Wednesday, even same as Monday basically as well. Okay, so manipulation inverse to continue higher. All right, could have clicked on entry anywhere here, but I ended up getting it here. It's just what it was. And yeah, I was aiming for 30 points, which is kind of funny because it literally just got ticked. But look at this. Okay, so when I was in this and it started moving like this, like look at this. How much time is this? All right, what is that? 13 minutes. Right. So I'm in this for like I was in for like 10 minutes. And I was like, what's going on? And then I started just like scrolling a wee bit, and I seen someone say it was a bank holiday, and I was like, oh, did not know that. So then after I saw it was bank holiday, I was like, because I never do BE. I don't do BE, but because this, I was like, you know what? And there's this as well. There's this Sibi over here. I'm like we don't close above it. I'm like, I'm just gonna put this to break even, and then set it to 30-point DP, and just let it do its thing. Cause yeah. And then what happens is, literally just after I do that, what happens? Look, literally like, what even is that? It wicks down and just right there, pops me right out. And then what does it do straight after? Straight to the 30 points. Like you can't make that up. That is just a funny one. I'm not bothered by it, to be honest. It is what it is. I shouldn't have even traded that day, so I took no losses. So it's basically a dub anyway. But my original stop loss, don't know if this is going to let me drag it. It's going to be annoying. It was like there. My original stop loss was like here. It was pretty big, to be honest. It was a bit of a rough trade, but I was kind of expecting, because before I realized it was bank holiday, I was looking to see it come up way up here for like 50 points. There was some like 5 minutes up here, I think, and we also had that area there we're probably going to come up to rebalance with, and also 50% of this range. Did we end up? We did. Well, yeah, we did that anyway. But yeah, I mean, bank holiday. What are you going to do? But as soon as I realized it was a bank holiday, I was like, no, straight just for 30 points and moving the break even. So even if I did keep it down here, to be fair, I would have been 100% the entire time, actually. Yeah, I would have been 100% the entire time. So, it's just one of those things. At least my stop loss placement's good. But, but yeah, so got break even there, and that is what it is on a Thursday. Optimal entry for Thursday. It's probably gonna be like somewhere here, to be honest. It's kind of, I just advise not even trading that, because it's bank holiday. But the funny thing is that strategy still played out. You know what I mean? Manipulation, confirmation, get in and target 30 to 50 points, and it played out still. So I was just trade management messed me up, but that is what it is. If we go to Friday, if we go to Friday, Friday. Right, look at this. Banging Friday. This is the first trade I've took on a Friday in a couple weeks, to be fair. Yeah, so what do we have? We have, this is our liquidity sweep. We've got this big ass SMT there. We do not run through it. I was waiting to see, because I was like, I originally thought we were going to be bullish. I'm not going to lie. I thought this was going to be bullish. We were just going up the entire time. And when we go up like a certain amount of points, we went up like 100 points. When we go up like 100 points, we tend to just continue to go up, to be honest. Especially if we're like running through SMTs. But we had this big SMT here. We started to move down. Then we had this little internal SMT. And we had a big push down. We had this to get inversed. I was like, okay, you know what? I'm just going to take a shot on this. If this inverses, so this candle inversed, and I just clicked enter, boom. I literally just covered that SIBI. I just covered that, and I was like, you know what? If it comes back up past that, it takes me out. It is what it is. But I like it. Manipulation, confirmation, entry. That is literally, by the way, I've just given away my entire setup. It's nothing special. I just manipulation, confirmation at the right times. If you watch enough of the reviews, you'll see the times I'm trading at, and that's just the sauce. That's all the sauce. It's all you need. But then I just aimed for this 5-minute BISI for 50 points. If you know my rules, it's 30 to 50 points, and that's what I aim for. Look at this though. This is quite funny. This is quite funny, actually, I have to say. Imagine I didn't follow my rules. Look at this. 317 points. Mad. What a move. What a move. Kind of funny that, but you know what? When you stick to your rules, and you know that sticking to your rules equals success, it doesn't really bother you. Like, I was just happy enough with my 50 points. I was buzzing about it. The trade went to take profit in 1, 2, 3, 4 minutes, so it was a 4-minute trade. What could I complain about? So yeah, that's the entire week there. It's been a pretty good month. We're actually doing decent again, unlike May. It wasn't very good at all. So yeah, back to doing decent. Gonna keep smashing it. This week should be interesting. Don't know what's gonna happen. Trump just blew Iran up, so that could be interesting. I mean, let me show you the new day opening gap here. It's quite interesting. Oh yeah, there we go. Look at that. Look at that for a gap. Look at that. Isn't that nice? Isn't that just lovely? So yeah, that's been this week anyway, and yeah, that's it.